Morning Jaiva Nation, morning Jaivapreneurs. This is another day where we'll be presenting the second law in the Jaiva Laws of the Game book, which is called the equipment. All right. This law is one of the most important law. Is the second law after the first law, which is Jaiva ground. We know yesterday we discussed more about the ground, how paramount and how important it is towards this particular game, why it has to be there, why it has to be designed. Now today we are focusing on what we call the equipment. We are a dance sport game, so everything that we do will be live. All right, so during the arena there is actually audiences that will be there, so we need to make sure that the equipment that the teams are actually using to actually perform or produce the content for that match, they are actually is in place. Or should anything happen during the game, equipment, a DJing equipment get broken, the headsets are not working well, a speaker or a volume or something, our observers which manages the game are empowered to actually help replace or stop the game, replace the equipment, and also restart the game. So these observers are very important. I'm just going to show you on my laptop what I mean. I haven't shared the screen. I hope you actually get to see what I'm talking about. So this is the Jaiva ground. All right, I hope you can see clearly. Then here we have the DJing site for this team, and on this side I can show you we have the DJing site for this team. This is observer 1, this is observer 2. These guys help actually manage the game. Here are what we call technical team for team A, and on the other side, which is here, which is the technical team for team B. So during a Jaiva match, the positioning also of the judges here and here is very important. But on this law, we are focusing on these guys, the DJs, or it can be marimba players, or it can be what we call drummers. So usually majority of teams prefer using DJs. All right, so this law actually governs the equipment. There is an equipment not only for DJs that is used during the game, it's also equipment that will be used by the teams themselves or the dancers when they are performing during a performance. The equipment can be a chair. So the aim of the law is to ensure that if it's a chair, the chair must be a plastic chair, must not be a steel chair. Should anything wrong goes happen, people must not get injured. So this law is in place not just only to regulate what kind of equipment is used, but also to prevent injuries. So this law empowers our observers to make sure that they run the game successfully, everyone doesn't get injured. The observers are the managers of the game, so their job is to manage the DJs, the judges, the technical team of each team, or even the dancers themselves during the game, actually start or end the match. So these are the guys, they are empowered, they are CEOs inside a Jaiva ground during a match. So we had to put a law in place that can govern how they actually run the game, and one of these laws is the one I'm talking about, which is the equipment law, which is the second law in the Jaiva laws of the game. All right, the laws of the game book has 21 laws, and this is the second one. So I hope that you will actually love reading more about it, but we're going to cover some of the issues or factors or some of the sanctions and infringements that are actually covered in this law. It's a beautiful law. Its aim is to prevent, protect, and to regulate. We need to know when a team has infringed or a DJ has infringed a law too, which usually it will be rare, but we know that when we deal with people in a working environment, because our office is an arena, it's a Jaiva game, a Jaiva dancers are actually athletes. We call them professional athletes. All right, so when they are there, they are working. The DJs, the Jaiva DJs, they are not like any other DJ you find in a nightclub. This one, they work for a professional Jaiva club. They are athletes. They wake up and do this every day. They go to rehearsals with the teams. They actually work under the team. They are signed. They can be transferred to another team. So we had to make sure that if we're dealing with equipments, we need to have a law that covers that area of the game. So for the game to be successful, for us, we need to empower the observer to make sure that there is a law in place that is actually empowering him or her to actually manages the game. So one of the things that the law is actually highlighting, which is important, is what we call the replacement of the equipment process, the sanctions, the infringements, because we might find out, or the observer might actually discover, that we are in this predicament because the other team didn't follow or bring quality equipment. So for delaying the game, they need to be punished. That's where now the infringements needs to be in place. An infringement doesn't have to be an injury or a foul. It can be also a misconduct that a team was doing for playing tactics, or to actually get the game being postponed. So we need to think ahead, because we know when times go by and the teams are feeling pressure, or they are trying to make sure that another game is, or a match is abandoned, they will come up with many tactics. So ours was just to put a loss, and was to put sanctions, cautions in place to make sure that we can move forward, and also empower the observer which manages the game with a law that supports his or her decisions. I am saying his or her because our observers can be a male or a female. All right, we are not a gender-based sport where we have a men team or a woman's team. In Jaiva is dance, there is no violence, so we allow a team to have both genders in their team. All right, so basically this is what this law is covering, is the equipment law. What do we mean by equipment? I am talking about the turntables, or the laptops, the mics, the headset the DJ is using, the marimba equipment, the drums that the drummer will be using. So it's in the hands of the team to make sure that they come with proper and correct equipment in the arena or during a game. The same equipment they will be using in their own arena or studios for rehearsal, we expect the same quality that they will be able to bring during a Jaiva game, so that the industry or the match becomes successful. All right, we cannot leave it to lady luck, because there will be people who invest in the game. Our viewers will buy tickets. We cannot allow a situation where we abandon a game due to an equipment. Thank you very much. I hope this law, it is very helpful, and it clarifies some of the things that we do, and then you can able to understand what I was talking about. So for now, I am going to leave it here. Some of the content about the law, you will actually find them in one of our online courses that we will be offering. For now, just watch the video to have an idea of what Jaiva is and what it looks like. Tomorrow we'll cover law 3. Thank you very much.